System development lifecycle is a structured approach to software development used to plan, design, build, test, deploy, and maintain software systems. The SDLC process is commonly used by software development teams to ensure that software is developed on time, within budget, and meets the user requirements. So we have methodologies that we use to that is considered in SDLC. So first is waterfall methodology. So the waterfall methodology, also known as the waterfall model, so is a sequential development process that goes through all phases of a project. Example, analysis, the design, development, and testing. So each phase ends completely before the next stage. So the process of waterfall model are requirements. So the method is based on the belief that all project requirements can be known and understood upfront. So the project manager will do his best to understand the project sponsors' requirements in detail. So the documented requirements are typically contained in one document and used to describe each phase of the project, including cost, prerequisite, the risk, dependency, success, metrics, and the timelines for completion. So the design, so here software developers design the technical solutions to the problems specified in product requirements. So including the scenarios, layouts, and data models. So first, the high level or logical blueprint is created that describe the purpose and scope of the project. So typically the traffic flows for each component. So and integration point. So once completed, it is converted into a physical design using specific hardware and software technologies. Next is implementation. So here, technical implementations begins as soon as the design is ready. So this may be the shortest stage of the waterfall process. So as careful research and design has already been done. So during this phase, the programmers program the application based on the requirements and specifications of the project. And some testing and implementations are also done. If significant changes are required at this stage, it may be deemed necessary to return to the design phase. So verifications or testing. So before you release your product to your customers, you should perform tests to ensure that your product is bug free. And then all requirements to ensure a good user's experience with your software are met. So the test team uses the design documents, personals, and used to case scenarios provided with product manager when creating the test cases. And lastly, the deployment and maintenance. So once the software is on the market or released or customers, the maintenance phase begins. So as defects are discovered and change requests are received from the users, teams are assigned to update and release a new versions of the software.
Next one is agile methodologies. This is divided into two parts, Scrum and Kanban. Framework. Scrum is an empirical process of making decisions based on observation, experiment, and experience. Scrum has three pillars: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. This supports the concept of iterative work. Think of empiricism as doing small experiments, learning from the work, and adjusting what you do and how you do it as needed. Scrum teams use tools called Scrum artifacts to solve problems and manage projects. Scrum artifacts provide critical planning and task information to team members and stakeholders. There are three primary artifacts. Backlog. The product backlog is dynamic list of features, requirements, enhancements, and fixes that must be completed for project success. The product owner maintains and updates the list of removing irrelevant items of adding the new requests from customers. With backlog is the list of items to be completed by the development team in the current sprint cycle before each sprint, the team chooses which item it will work on from the product backlog. A sprint backlog is flexible and can evolve during a sprint. And lastly, in increment. The increment is a step toward a goal or a vision. It is usable and end product from a sprint. Teams can adopt different methods and define and demonstrate their sprint goals despite the flexibility. The fundamental sprint goals, what the team wants to be achieved from the current sprint can be compromised. Scrum rules, product owner. The product owner focuses on ensuring the development team delivers the most value to the business. They understand and prioritize the changing needs of end users and customers. Effective product owners do the following. Give the team clear guidance on which features to deliver next. Second is bridge the gap between the business wants and the team understands. Lastly, decide when, how frequently releases should happen. Scrum leaders are the champion for Scrum within their teams. They are accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness. Scrum leaders are also responsible for doing the following. First is schedule the resources needed for sprint. Second is facilitate other sprint events and team meetings. Third is lead digital transformation within the team. Fourth is facilitate the team training when adopting new technologies. Scrum development team. The Scrum team consists of testers, designers, UX specialists, OPs, engineers, and developers. Team members have different skills and set of cross train. Each train each other. No one person becomes a bottleneck in delivering work. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, recommends the two pizza rule when deciding team size. A team should be small enough to share two pizzas. Scrum development teams do the following. First is work collaboratively to ensure a successful sprint completion. Second is champion sustainable development practices. Third is self-organize and approach their projects with an evident we attitude. Fourth is drive the planning and estimating for how much work they can complete for each sprint. What are Scrum events? Scrum events or Scrum ceremonies are a set of sequential meetings that Scrum teams perform regularly. Some Scrum events include the following. First is sprint planning. In this event, the team estimates the work to be completed in the next sprint. Members define sprint goals that are specific, measurable, and attainable. At the end of the planning meeting, every Scrum member knows how each increment can be delivered in the sprint. Second is a sprint. A sprint is the actual time period when the Scrum team works together to finish an increment. 2 weeks is the typical length for a sprint but can vary depending on the needs of the project and the team. The more complex the work and the more unknowns, the shorter the sprint should be. Daily Daily Scrum. A daily Scrum is short meeting in which team members check and plan for the day. They report on work completed and voice any challenges in meetings, sprint goals. Lastly is sprint review. At the end of the sprint, the team gets together for an informal session to review the work completed and showcase it to stakeholders. The product owner might also rework the product backlog and based on the current sprint. Retrospective, the team comes together to document it and discuss what worked and what didn't work During the sprint, ideas generated are used to improve future sprints. Kanban is a framework that falls under the Agile methodology. It was developed in the late 1940s by a Japanese engineer named Taiichi Ono. Agile Kanban framework focuses on visualizing the entire project on boards to increase project transparency and collaboration between team members. Kanban is one of the simplest frameworks and allows project managers to efficiently manage and keep track of their projects. Kanban methodology is an agile method that aims to continuous improvement, flexibility in task management, and enhance the workflow. With this illustrative approach, the progress of the whole project can be understood in a glance. Kanban method revolves around the Kanban board. It is a tool that visualizes the entire project to track the flow of their project. Through this graphical approach of Kanban board, a new member or an external entity can understand what's happening right now. Tasks completed and future tasks. Kanban board indicates the current tasks that are being performed. The task to do is the task to do in the future. The tasks that are completed and paste your script here.
Prototyping. A prototype is a sample implementation of the system. It provides limited and mean functional capabilities of the proposed system. So moves in a circle. So build on earlier versions. It consists of determined objectives, develop, refine, demonstrate, test, and implement. Then next is iterative methodology. This model particularly focuses on small chunks of development and enhancing work, evolving them to final software. Basically, it begins with simpler implementations of smaller sets of requirements from the software objective, and iteratively evolve the versions until the complete system is implemented and gets deployed. This process will continue to run iteratively to add new versions of requirements at the end of each iteration, and at the end of the final iteration, the full requirements or specification expectation from the software is ready. Iterative methodology have the same phases of waterfall methodology. This includes requirement, design, implement, and testing phase.